That's right, boys and girls. We are live. Goodness gracious me. Where have I been? It's bloody been a while. I'm on the road here, guys, working, recording in the Cube. We are live. But yes, Blackburn Rovers coming into the international break, fresh off the back of 4 points out of the two of the top four clubs here, and possible six. A complete change of focus from the games prior to that. Absolute calamity against Portsmouth and Oxford, but game-changing results against Millwall and Middlesbrough to give Blackburn Rovers a new lease of life. If you're new, where have you been? Subscribe, smash the like, of course. We're going to talk about the run-in. We're going to talk about, of course, the international break, and we're going to talk about some goalkeepers and all that kind of stuff. To do that, I've got to need some people to talk about it, and Jonty is here. How the devil are you, Jonty? You're on mute, so I'm leaving you in complete control of your microphone. But how the devil are you? Were you at Ewood yesterday to see them against Borough?
Apologies, Dirk. I was just doing my hair there. Do you know what I mean? I thought you're going to come to me live. Yeah, you're going to come to me live any second. So, what was your question? Was I at Middlesbrough? Yes. Yes, I've been to Pompey. I didn't go to Oxford. Where else have we been? Pompey, Oxford. God, they all blend into one after a while, don't they? Middlesbrough, yeah, went to that one. So, and Millwall, of course. How could I forget Millwall? Or fantastic day out. So, yeah, I've been to 3 out of 4 of them. Middlesbrough was, I think everybody would have taken a draw before that game. You know, it's typical Blackburn Rovers. The order in which the points have come, I think most people would have settled for the points that we got, which is 5 points out of the last 4 games. I just didn't think anybody would have called the order in which they came in. So yeah, I think zooming out and looking at it, yeah, I'm quietly happy, and it kind of changed everything, didn't it? It's Portsmouth was a really poor result, poor game, and no commitment. And you know, I kind of called it out on my vlog: no commitment, no passion, no desire, no urgency, no realization. Almost, I think it was only the fans that thought, "Hang on, we need to be, you know, pressing the panic button here." But the players didn't, and they didn't seem up for it, which is concerning to say the least. And then Oxford, yeah, we played slightly better in the second half and we pushed them back, but again, we just lacked any form of cutting edge, really. Millwall, what a great result that was. Could say that we got a little bit lucky with the red card. It was a very soft red card, which has recently been rescinded as well. But, you know, I thought we thoroughly deserved that win because, you know, in the first half, we were the better team. Arguably, should we have been a goal up? Maybe not. And then, you know, but we did it, and that's all that matters. We took advantage of it. We were 1-0 down when they got a man sent off, and I think I jokingly said to Alex that was with me, I said, you know, we'll probably go and lose this 2-0 now, you know, so down to 10 men and lose 2-0. But no, we thoroughly deserved win. And then Middlesbrough, yeah, we didn't have a lot of the ball, but I thought what we did off the ball was excellent, you know, and I'm sure there's a few players which we'll come on to in a minute, so I'm not going to steal my own thunder or interrupt your flow, Dirk. But yeah, I thought, yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, solid 4 points. And I think the main takeaway is, if you look at the broader picture of the last 4 games, you probably, like you said, would have taken those points. Maybe, the Millwall game, definitely a good result. Borough, yeah, they're up there as well. A man that was out and about with you, and at least one of the games, was this for Alexander Haber. How the devil are you? How the devil are you? You were at Millwall, you made the trip over there, and you brought the bloody, you took home all points. How was that game? And did you manage to catch the game last night or yesterday against?
I missed the Borough game, unfortunately. I was working, but I listened to you, Dirk, for most of it. So then I had to go to work. But yeah, no, it was good. They ground out the draw. So it's just, we were just missing the cutting edge. Probably just tired out from working so hard to make sure they got the draw. So I think we've got to be happy with that against Middlesbrough, second in the table, and keeping them at bay. They worked really hard for it, so fair play to the lads. And on the back of the Millwall result, which I think it was fortunate. Obviously, hearing that red card's been turned over, it was fortunate that we got that decision, but they did well to take advantage of it, and it leaves us with a good, solid 4 points out of those 2 games. So I'm optimistic going forward.
Yeah, you've got a fan in the chat. Yeah, the limited benefit says, Haber the legend. Look at that. I love it. So yeah, good hearing from you, Alex. And of course, hopefully we hear from you a bit more in a little bit. Denver, of course, I don't think you were there yesterday, but maybe you caught a glimmer of the game. And of course, with your coaching head screwed on a little bit, solid point for Rovers.
Yeah, very much so. I couldn't make the games today. Really wanted to, but I had a game myself, so priorities. I play, and that's just one of those things. So, but no, it was a very good point. What I was able to watch of it, because of course it was on as I was traveling there, and then during the warm up, I had it on my phone, so I kind of glimpsed over at it while I was preparing for my game. But what I've seen, it was pretty good. I haven't got the whole picture of the whole game, but what I had seen, we were under the cosh a few times, which will happen in game. But if you manage to deal with it, we relied on Balash Toth maybe a little bit too much by the sounds of it. But apparently he had a really good game as well. And we had a few half chances. And if we, now in future, those games that will take as draws, you look in the future and hopefully you can get a goal at the other end and get a few wins, maybe like Eustace football, we can maybe looking a bit more easier now. But on the whole, look, we defended really well. We kept a side who's on a second in the league, at arm's length to a degree, especially with the amount of fans that they brought as well. It was a all-rounder, a very, very pleasing result. Just a quick one on, I think John was saying before, regarding who would have predicted this as the round away points. Can I just remember that podcast where I predicted that we were going to get 1 point out of those 2 games? I was very correct somehow. I wish I wasn't, of course. I don't want us to actually get 1 point out of a potential 6, but I predicted that, and then I don't know if I would have predicted us to have got the win at Millwall, even though it is a happy hunting ground for us in recent years, and then getting a draw at against Middlesbrough. But we did that when we went up there. You, me, and John T, of course, there, who were there for the Middlesbrough game in the away end, and we played very well there. To be fair, I think we were maybe a little bit more attacking minded there than we were potentially yesterday. Of course, I wasn't at the game yesterday, but from what I've heard, but we'll take that. Especially with teams around us starting to pick up points. I know Pompey have come straight back down to earth, and when they were playing us and they were winning against us, they were thinking of playoffs, like low-key, maybe scraping into there. Now they've come straight back into the dogfight with us, and we're just keeping our heads above water. West Brom, I thought, were down and out, and then after 2 wins, now they're out of there, and Oxford are not going to go down without fighting, and Leicester City, the abundance of talent that they got in that squad and resources as well, but only coming down from the Premier League not too long. So it's going to be a tough old slog. I can still see it come down to the last game against Leicester, but on the whole, reasonably happy. I think the Oxford game was so poor. It was so bad. It was watching that was Oxford aren't the team. But yeah, on the whole, pretty happy with the past 2 games.
Yeah, it's again, good feeling because we're entering the international break. That's right, with Michael O'Neill switching hats. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But what I want to do is, of course, bring this up. What makes it look better? That probably looks a little bit better right there. Of course, some standouts yesterday. Again, if you hopefully maybe you caught the highlights, but Atchison looks pretty solid at the back line there. Youngster, of course, one for the future. Major concerns again with some injuries. Hayden Carter, I think, ruled out now to the end of the season. I did read something about some stipulation or about the squad can be changed a little bit. Did anybody catch that in the social media or news yesterday? Anyone catch that?
Nope.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the full terminology about it, but there was something that was mentioned that EFL squads can be tweaked to a point, like, when we had to make the call on which 22 players were going to be here for the rest of the season. There's been a new rule or something, which means we can, I think, replace 2 or 3. So Ryan Hedges could be brought back in. George Platt could be brought back in at the expense of like a Sondre Tronstad, Hayden Carter. Those guys can be withdrawn now and switched around. So potentially we may see Ryan Hedges play in the blue and white shirt again this season if he comes through. George Platt as well. Is it George Platt? I think I'm hopefully getting his name right. Another youngster who did play particularly well in his cameos that he's made so far. But if that is right, is that good news, John T? For the likes of for Blackburn Rovers, getting Ryan Hedges back in the fold, is he going to be too rusty by this point? Whenever he gets some minutes,
I guess it's kind of twofold for me. Is it good news for Blackburn Rovers? Is that my audio really bad?
It's so far it's okay. You're doing all right.
Okay, no, I'm just getting a lot of feedback, so that's a little bit weird. For Blackburn Rovers, yes, in its current climate, yes, getting people like Ryan Hedges back might be, but I'm not convinced that other championship teams, it's good news for us because they'll have a deeper squad, they'll have better players that are sort of on the periphery. So, whilst it's a level playing field in terms of everybody can do it, I don't know if that's a good thing for us. If I'm being honest, so that again, just a knee-jerk reaction because I've not really heard anything else about that. So, yeah. But just picking up on Alex's point before, I think he made a good point. I mean, the Borough result for me, and I said it to a couple of my mates, like, if we'd lost that game, it would have absolutely taken the gloss off the Millwall game, because we needed to follow it up with a decent result.
Exactly.
And the Middlesbrough to get a point out of that and to nullify them and defend like we did, I thought the defence was absolutely brilliant. I'm sure we're going to come on to individual players, so I'm not going to peek too soon. Story of my life, but I thought it was just a brilliant display off the ball, and that's what we needed to do. And fair play. You could argue Middlesbrough had a bit of a bad day at the office, but no, I think we just nullified them. We just did what we needed to do, and I think as an attacking team like Middlesbrough are. Once we'd sort of put out the flames of maybe 3 or 4 attacks, I think this sort of started to scratch their heads a little bit, and it all went a bit flat for them, where we just, we grew into the game. And, if we'd finished the last sort of 15 minutes, if we got into the game like we finished in the last 15 minutes, we could have happily got 3 points. I thought we finished a stronger team.
We definitely finished a stronger team. Yeah, I agree with that. Again, if it was 10 more minutes, who knows? We might have come away with more than the 1 point. But yeah, the game did showcase, a return to old, maybe like that under John Eustace, very defensively solid against a team that are looking for promotion. But again, Scotty Wharton hoping to get back into the team here, but the defenders such as Atchison, McLaughlin, Cashin, definitely. Well, Cashin's been an absolute revelation since we picked him up on loan, and definitely will be looking to make a move to a better club, I would imagine, next season. What's your summary so far, Alex, on Cashin's addition, and of course Michael O'Neill's start to his Rovers tenure?
Michael O'Neill, he's done as good as I think anyone could hope for. He seems to be getting the best out of the players. You asking me about Cashin?
Yes, I think he's been awesome.
Oh, he's been really awesome, and too awesome, sadly, for us to probably be able to keep him beyond this season. By the sounds of it. I'm hoping Michael O'Neill stays beyond this season. But yeah, he's getting the best out of them right now, and I think against Middlesbrough, obviously we were lacking that final ball, that proper opportunity, or we didn't have the energy probably left to take an opportunity. But other than that, I think recently they've done well. They've definitely done well. They're going in the right direction, I believe, under Michael O'Neill. And I'm optimistic, even though we've got really tough games coming up. But it's good to see someone like Atchison come in to take over from Carter and not look like he's out of his depth at all. He's actually stepped up to it, and he's not letting himself be bullied. So I'm optimistic, even though we've got youngsters in there. They're delivering. So, definitely. But I do think a player like Hedges could be very useful. Definitely.
Yeah, I just want to, because you were at the Millwall game. That's when Atchison was brought on for Carter, and I think in that game he was kind of under the cosh a little bit from that. I think it was Coburn. It was put him under pressure a lot, and it kind of made him look a little bit like a fish out of water. And definitely at that point, I thought I was a little bit concerned that he might have been playing the standard too high. But yesterday, I think he was amazing. I think he did get man of the match. I'm not too sure, but yeah, kudos to him for stepping it up.
Yeah, I think he did.
But as somebody who is in Wales, which is of course Denver, Ryan Hedges returning. Is it? And again, from with your background, he's been out for a long time. Will he be able to get up to speed within the last handful of games, or is it going to come just a little bit too early for him to finish up the season, Ryan Hedges?
How far away is he now? He's just got onto the grass, hasn't he?
I think sometime in April was when he was muted, like mid-April.
So he might come for the last game of the season, or last
maybe 2 or 3, maybe.
Yeah. You're looking at, and that's if we're pushing him, and then that's if there's no setback. So in that scenario, you're looking at like Tromsø, who's out for the rest of the season. It would make sense too, because he has a potential to be playing at the end of the season. But if there are other players who are available and ready to go now, maybe even some youngsters, you'd probably bleed them through now before a Ryan Hedges pick. You love his experience and everything, but it's just you pick him and then you're losing an extra body that you could potentially be blooding now out for the rest of the season, or a position there. But look, of course he's actually from round here. The reason why I've got that shirt there is because of Ryan Hedges. So it'd be I can't believe I'm actually saying that. If you asked me this 2 years ago, I'd be like, but having Ryan Hedges would be a massive boost in the squad right now. Just to have another option going forward, even defensively, have a wing back instead of having Ryan Ribeiro, or someone on that left hand side that can come up and down, which he was doing very well for us at the beginning of the season. But then you've also got other players potentially coming back. I don't know how long Cargbo is out now for. Surely he's on the.
Well, someone had just dropped a comment. I haven't looked. I haven't been online really mostly today, but someone says about Cargbo being injured again. So I don't know how much of a backward step that is.
Yeah, so we'll just have to wait and see. But I know Cargo
shame.
of course, is another one on the cusp. But yeah, it would be massive if we could, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit too much too soon for the likes of Ryan Hedges anyway. And yeah, but it is an idea. If he does get back well enough, and we'll have a Ryan Hedges in the squad, just a bit of an extra, more senior body in the squad will just help us, I think, a little bit. Hopefully, stay afloat and not drop into League One.
Yeah, but yesterday's performance actually again stood out. Defensive guys stood out. Blasses Toff stood out, and maybe, just maybe, he could be forcing his name into the Player of the Year conversation. But I wanted to ask you guys, where on earth does this guy feature in our tier list of ranking goalkeepers for Blackburn Rovers? We're going to stretch it all the way back since we got relegated from the Premier League. We're going to do it goalkeeper by goalkeeper. A for amazing, B for whatever, F for absolutely effing atrocious.
I can't wait to get onto Jason Steele since he's got
yes, well, he's an anomaly. I don't understand him.
I don't get it.
So, but yes, kudos to Blasses Toff. I thought he was phenomenal yesterday. Kev, definitely get
not phenomenal. No, I wouldn't say phenomenal. His distribution is really, really poor. Don't get me wrong. I'm growing. I'm warming to him a lot more than what I used to. I was a big Pears fan, but recently the save at Millwall, where I just thought their player had just hit it off target. But when you watch it from behind the goal, the little touch that he gets with his fingertips at full stretch was absolutely phenomenal. That was a great save. But equally, I'm concerned about his distribution. I'm concerned about he never catches anything. He likes to punch it, and whilst punching is great, it sometimes leads to the secondary attack and what have you. So. He's good. He's growing on me. I'll go first. If he was to come up now,
he's not coming now. You got someone else.
But let me peak too soon. So
okay.
if he was to come up now, I'd probably have put him in 2 weeks ago. I would have put him in a C category. I think now I'll put him in a B. He's warming on me. Where Pez would have started in a B, and maybe, and I'll get a load of stick in the comments for this, but no, just Pez. Excuse the pun, he's a safer pair of hands for me. He can catch the ball better. He controls his box a lot better. He communicates a lot better. He does some good saves. Toth is a brilliant shot stopper. Easy for me to say. Put my teeth back in. But Pez can do all of that. But I think he just controls and communicates with his back four a lot better.
I agree. But. I still, even when Pez is in goal, I'm never like, when you had a Kaminsky in there, or you knew, he's coming for this and that. Even Pearsy every now and then had a game where it would be a bit shaky, and I think Toth more so than Pearsy. So I think they're both very good. I don't know how much older Pearsy is. Is he the wrong side of 30 now? He should be, right?
I don't know. I think he's low 30s, Pears. But
yeah, and then Toth's what the other side is he?
He's 20s. I think he's 20s, Toth.
Yeah, still in his 20s, but I can't tell if he's really young or not. So how much room for development is there?
It's a really good point, because as far as I can remember, as far as I can remember, I can't remember having two goalkeepers so kind of equal.
Yeah.
Normally there's like a number one and his understudy, where recently, like with Pears and Toth, they are absolutely fighting for the place, and no matter which keeper's in the net, I would personally prefer Pears. I'm not going to go back on that, but equally, I'm all right if Toth is in the nets as well. So normally, there's, like I say, there's normally an understudy, but that's not the case.
So we're going to do this, right?
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. We're going to do this.
Can we talk about Jason Steele now? Let's not do this.
He will come up. He will come up. Listen to me. So when I plonk them on the screen, you've got to grade them at their performance as a Blackburn Rovers player, because we know David Raya's phenomenal now, but as a Blackburn Rovers player, Jason Steele as a Blackburn Rovers player, not as England's fifth goalkeeper or whatever, This is what we're going to do. Paul Robinson is number one. We're starting. And because Jonty did a lot of airtime there, let's go to Alexander Haben. Where would you put this fella? Paul Robinson, Mr. Haben. Where's he going? And just
Uh,
before,
Paul
Remember he
Robinson.
played for Burnley.
Ooh,
as a Blackburn Rovers player.
he's got to lose some cred for that, big time.
That was after.
He's wearing a yellow shirt, so that goes with C.
I love your justification.
Are we saying, so you said that this was the goalkeepers after we got relegated? Are we looking at his tenure at Blackburn Rovers or his tenure after we got relegated? Because of course, when we got relegated, he had his whole thing with this lung problem, didn't he?
After we got relegated.
The thing I remember that really sticks in my head with Paul Robinson is long shots. All I can remember is he used to let in every long shot goal. I don't remember him diving very often. Outside the box shots. I'd never remember him getting close to him. Like if it was like inside the box, like quite near to him, he was good. But outside the box, I just don't remember him getting near to many of them.
I didn't rate him. Here's my overview from a fading memory. He was a Sky Sports camera kind of goalkeeper. So ones that he could get to relatively easy. If you look at him, you watch him on a couple of them, and I'm going to get slightly in the comments for this, but I remember watching him take one step to the right and then dive into the left, and it made it look like a fantastic save, out of this world save. But you could watch it back on Sky Sports, and he took one step to the right, dive to the left, or vice versa, and it looked amazing. But I don't think he was that good a keeper. I would agree with the C. You're not an England goalkeeper, but unfortunately I think we got him after his better days, if I'm being honest. And I know Danish Queen JDT will look wide up to a Mars bar again. It's a Danish Queen seriously on one, but yeah, I mean, to have the fact that you've got a profile that says JDT in there worries me. It genuinely worries me. I mean,
give myself a Paul Robinson job, teammate.
I'm going to change it to what planet are you on? Denver, you've had a bit of stick in the comments, mate.
He has. He's had a fair bit. Yeah. He's not looking.
Yeah. You take stick for me, mate. That's fine. I don't need to look at the comments. I'm a hapless Larry.
Don't get me wrong.
I don't need to look at the comments. I just speak to my family. They give me loads of stick all the time.
Exactly. I speak to you guys. You give me enough stick.
He did. I mean, don't get me wrong. Paul Robinson had his moments that made me think, that made me say, I can understand why you were England's goalkeeper. But he also had moments where it's like, whoa, you should have done so much better there. So,
Indeed.
Yeah.
You probably got it right on there. Who's next? Who wants to check? This is a tricky one. Jake Keane. I don't know how many games he played, but that's where we're going. We're going
that's down you, Denver.
Is it me? You giving it to me?
Yeah.
I think is there an A star? I think he was for no. Do you know what? The comments are gonna have their fun if I get. I'm gonna give him. Ooh. Did he do anything memorable? I'm trying to think of maybe the Arsenal game in the cup. If that was him, in my head I've got D. I can't think of anything like really, really bad for him to be an F. I'm thinking D. It could be an F. Again, this was like my early days. This is when I'm only just started getting into watching Blackburn Rovers. So he was kind of the one of the first goalkeepers at the time, alongside Paul Robinson when he came back in. But yeah, I think D. I don't know what you guys probably got more on this one than me.
He wasn't that memorable. He wasn't there for much.
He didn't play that much, really, from what I remember. Did he?
No, handful of games.
Yeah.
It's
It was just like, I don't know. We weren't very good at that time. Like defensively, defensively we weren't good. We weren't that good. So he didn't have a lot to. I think he had a hard task, put it that way, at that time. But yeah, he didn't look above average. No.
Who was the main keeper at the time when Jake Keane was in the nets? I'm trying to.
Paul Robinson, because he had his issue with his lung, didn't he? So we had to step away. So then Keane got the position, didn't he? And then Paul Robinson came back and he lost his position. I don't know where he went after that.
Yeah, something along those lines. Anyway, he's easily forgotten. How about this guy then? Who wants a piece of the David Raya pie?
I think we all did, but is it Alex next?
No, it was me. No, Alex went first because I'd had too much airtime, and then you went on Jake Keane. So I'll go with David Raya. Love David Raya, and I know that's easy to say now because he plays for Arsenal and he's exceptional at Brentford. But what I liked about David Raya is when he came through the ranks and he came into the Nets, my biggest criticisms of David Raya was his distribution. Sounds like quite familiar. Was absolutely horrendous. He would, every time a ball would be played back to him, he would kick it out of touch. Apparently, if the truth, if the rumours are to be true, he used to stay behind after training and just practice his kicking all the time. And week on week, you could just see him getting better and better and better. I always said he was a great shot stopper, and he was. And I just love the guy because of the work that he put in to improve every single element of his game that was a little bit of a weakness. So, for me, categorically, he's an A. Don't put him in there yet. Let's see what the other guys say because I might have jumped in too soon. But yeah, for me, and it's easy to say, but yeah, categoric A. Quality keeper, sold him far too cheap, far too soon. And I did think he would go on to better things because he is categorically, you can put him up there with the Brad Friedels, the Tim Flowers. He was just a brilliant keeper.
I remember back in the day when he was playing for us, I said, my mate, I think we were in school at the time. This is how long ago it was. And I was saying to him, he's going to be playing top Premier League football one day. And I remember, and then when but
not in a cup final.
Oh, well, maybe not. Well, no. But then, and then literally maybe not that long ago when I think he made his first initial sign when he first signed for Arsenal. That same friend that I said that to came back to us. Fair play to you. You did say that David I was going to do it one day, and then this was League One days, by the way. This is when we were down in the dumps. So, I agree with Jonty again, but I still remember those mistakes. He was young though, he's got to make those mistakes. But I remember really, really loving him. But if you're gonna, what we rated him on, because at the same time, I'm thinking of a period of time where I could see the potential this guy had to go there, but how good really was he? Again, with the distribution, and he have his clanger every now and then. I think, who was it? Was it Shrewsbury? Or it was one of those games where there was a bit of a mess up at the back, and then it had gone into the goal. I remember everyone blaming each other, David Wright. I'll say high B, low A. So in that verdict, it'd be an A for John Till. I don't know what Alex maybe will be the decider.
I'd personally, I'd probably give him an A.
There we go.
I think it's a valid point from Chris Mitchell. B for us, A now, and I think
A now. Oh yeah, B for us. Yeah, okay.
That's why I said high B. But
but I think it's a valid point. It was a B for us, but an A star 5+, whatever.
Yeah, sorry. I was thinking about him now. Yeah, really. But yeah, for us, yeah, I'd go with a B, I reckon.
Let's put him in B then.
Yeah.
B. All right. Well, that was fun. Okay. Jason Steele.
Taxi for naive Steve. By the way. Could somebody just get a taxi for naive Steve? Have you just read his recent comment?
The child age 4, I could not say please in Spanish.
Naive Steve, taxi's here, mate. Where's Wi-Fi code tonight?
He's in there.
Is he? Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Toby's message.
Anyone? Jason Steele.
Jason Steele F.
It's Alex, isn't it? Go on, Alex.
Is it me? Oh, geez.
It is.
Yeah. Getting going.
England goalkeeper, mate.
Yeah.
You're wearing the shirt.
But it just goes to show.
You're wearing it. You're wearing the badge.
You've graded him in on his performance as Rovers player.
As a Rovers player, he wasn't good. Wasn't that good, was he?
No, for anybody else.
That's why David Raya got in the squad.
I don't know. Was he worse than Jake Keane? He played a lot more.
I feel like with Jake Keane, he had a very small period of time where he was in goal. Where Jason Steele had a long prolong. Like again, he was keeping Simon Eastwood out the squad, which was for me at the time. I was like, how is Simon Eastwood not started? Like those saves against Liverpool, I'm like, oh my god, this is our number 2. How is he? So Jason Steele was keeping Simon Eastwood out of goal. So Jake Keane didn't have any competition because our goalkeeper was in hospital, mate. So like I
mean, it used to be days when players were worse. When they left Blackburn Rovers, they were worse. Wherever they went, they were worse. But but right now, we're talking about goalkeepers. For us, they weren't all that, and then they've gone off and but I think it's goalkeepers. I think that's how it is with goalkeepers. They tend to get better. They tend to hit their peak a lot later on.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm looking at the comments here. There's 2 keepers that do my nut in, and they've been called out in the comments. Walton and Steele, F for me. I'm going to be that harsh. Absolutely. Yes. I used to shit myself when them 2 were in the starting. We're starting as a number 1 for the Blackburn. They weren't good enough. And Blackburn Rovers, generally speaking, have a history of really, really good, solid keepers. But Walton and Steele are the polar opposites of that. So for me, I'm going to be really, really harsh with these 2. Categoric F, but it's not my turn. Alex, back to you, my mate.
Okay. Well, the thing is, he had a lot of games to elevate himself, and he didn't. So because of that,
moved to Premier League Brighton, eh?
Yeah. But for the time he was with us, he wasn't good. I wouldn't put him any higher than D. But
so what are you saying? Dirk trying to stir the pot.
I don't know.
Gotta be an F. Gotta be an F, right?
I think on the basis that he had a lot of opportunity to do better and he didn't, he should get an F.
And was he actually a Rovers signing? Like he was?
Yeah, he was. He signed for us. Yeah.
He had ample opportunity to improve, and for us, and he didn't. So, yeah, F.
Okay, who's next?
Here we go.
Eastwood. Clint.
Oh, I just brought him up. Oh, do you know what? Like, I have a soft spot for Eastwood. I really do. I did like just whenever he came on, he never let us down. So I was always shocked how Simon Eastwood never I'd be playing FIFA and I'd put Simon Eastwood in ahead of Steele. Like that should say it all. But he was honestly I think underrated, to be fair. I think he was, and then he went on to Oxford, and then and then in League One, and that season when we were in League One, and he made that save against Charlie Magru penalty at home that day, and I'm like, oh my god, is he coming back to haunt us here? But I did like Simon Eastwood. His career may not be as glitz and glamour as your David Raya, your Kaminsky's, your Jason Steele. That sounds wrong saying it in my mouth. But,
yeah, it does.
It's hard because he never broke into the side really. So it's hard to say that a C. I'm feeling C, but I feel like because he was the second choice goalkeeper, you're probably gonna have to go into D. Guys, you want to help out? I'm leaning towards more C than D, but
I've just gone back to Jake Keane. I looked when he left Blackburn Rovers, or when he was at Blackburn Rovers, he went on loan to Hartlepool, Rochdale, Yeovil, Oldham. He then signed for Norwich, made 0 appearances, but went out on loan to Colchester and Swindon. Then he went to Sheffield Wednesday for a couple of years, but got loaned out to Mansfield and Grimsby. Then he went to Mansfield long term and Notts County. So over the span of a 12-year period, he made 114 appearances. So wow. for those that are a little bit harder thinking, in 11 years, he's done the equivalent of 3 seasons as a starter. So, I mean, That's pretty poor. I'm just going to do the same for Simon Eastwood.
Yeah, he'll be a lot higher.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for that guy because there probably was a player in there like a keeper, but who are we on now anyway?
Simon Eastwood.
Oh, we are.
Are you googling?
Yeah, I'm googling him now. So, oh shit. I know.
Where are you, Johnson, mate?
Well, no. To be fair, before he was at Blackburn Rovers, I thought we got him a lot earlier. So he made one appearance for Huddersfield Town between 2007 and 2010, but then also he went to Woking and Bradford on loan. He then did Oxford for a year, Halifax Town for a year, then he went to Portsmouth for a year. Then he had 3 years at Blackburn Rovers. He made 13 appearances. And then he went to Oxford United and made 227 appearances. Yeah. Now, he's shit because he didn't score one goal in all of that. So, I mean, there's only Max Targate that trumps that, really, isn't there?
Oh, I don't know.
Is he still playing Eastwood? Is he still?
Well, yeah, it says 2016. It's got a little dash next to it. There's no end date. So, I think he must still be at Oxford. EFL Championship club, Oxford United. So he's still there. And in fact, whilst I'm doing this, I might as well do Christian Walton just for a laugh.
We'll have it ready up. But yeah, I'd say C. I think he was for what he was I can't believe he didn't put
Christian Walton still at Ipswich Town, made 88 appearances for him, but again, never a big fan of his.
I'd agree with Steve. I think he was okay. Eastwood.
Yeah, he was all right.
Eastwood.
For the full 11 appearances, he did all right, didn't he?
Yeah.
That Liverpool, I don't care. Against Liverpool, he was very, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
We thought he scored against Mignolet. Do you not remember that? We thought he scored. He had that shot. So he nearly trumped McTargay, John C.
Who knows this guy? Does anyone remember this guy?
Who's that?
Yeah, Loutweiler.
Loutweiler, the Canadian.
Yeah.
Loutweiler.
Yeah. He's better than Wallstead as a number 2. We'll get on to him, but it's who is on it? It's Jonties, isn't it? All Jonties. Go on.
See, move on.
Really?
See, move on. Yeah,
I wasn't impressed with him. Impressed.
I'd have said D.
Yeah.
Majority rules.
I'm doing it, Denver. I'm going to sit on that fence.
Mate, I've actually got the shirt. I've got the shirt underneath with the name on the back.
Well, the other thing is, when I sit on the fence, it's got to be a much wider fence for my fat horse. But, yeah.
The next one, I'm not sure if he's actually played, but he was one of our books for a while. Andy Fisher.
Yeah, I think he did play the 1 or 2 games. But
at Swansea now.
Went off. Where did he went? He didn't go Swansea direct, did he? Was it Shoes?
Did he go Fleetwood or somewhere like that?
Yeah,
and then that as well.
He didn't really get much chance with us, with Rovers.
I'm going to say F, just because he never really did anything. Even though it's Alex's go. Alex.
But he didn't really get many opportunities.
Mm-hmm. You can only grade him for what you know of him.
Yeah.
Well, from what I know of him, he was okay. I don't know.
His history isn't great. So Blackburn Rovers, no appearances for us, so we can't comment on him. But he went on loan whilst he was at Rovers officially. He went to FC United of Manchester, made 13 appearances. He went to Northampton Town on loan, made no appearances. Went to MK Dons, made no appearances. But then he signed in 2020 for MK Dons, had 2 seasons there, 62 appearances, and then he went to Swansea City and 46 appearances. So, I mean, it's no fool. He's currently he's still at Swansea City, but he's on loan at St Johnstone. But he's been at Swansea City since 2022, and he went to St Johnstone last year, and he's made 12 appearances. So,
I remember he played for Swansea for a fair bit for a time.
46 appearances.
Yeah.
I think it's so much more difficult for keepers. You either make it or you don't make it, don't you? Really, you don't. It's you've got to have the right goalkeeping coach. You've got to have the right, the whole environment around you to develop you, to nurture you, to get game experience as well, but at a decent level as well. Because I mean, there's no. I guess I was going to say there's no bad keeper, but I exclude a couple of people from that. But it's such a niche kind of role, isn't it? And as a keeper, if you make one mistake, your name's mud, isn't it? Sort of thing. Where defenders can make 2 or 3 mistakes, and there's a couple of people backing them up. But so yeah, I mean, and that's why they have a sort of goalkeeper union, isn't it? They stick together and what have you. I mean, that howler tonight in the Carabao Cup, from the Arsenal number 2 sort of thing. He flapped it across and he dropped it, and City have scored from it. And it's especially where the level of football is now. You make one mistake and there's somebody there to punish you, unless you're Blackburn Rovers, of course.
I think an F is harsh because he never got any opportunities.
But then you couldn't give him an A either. You can't grade him because he hasn't played for us. So I think F is the only reason.
F. He's getting an F. Yeah. Is he going to be joined by this guy though?
Oh yes, that's
Who's
it.
that?
Yes,
Christian Walton.
Christian Walton, your favourite player, mate. You picked the right photo for him, though.
That's how much I've eliminated him from my head. So,
but can I just say one thing? I really, really, really liked that goalkeeper kit. Like, it was really nice. That was the only goalkeeper
God! I wonder what you were going to say. I really, really like that goalkeeper, and I just wish.
And Christian Walton made it look even better.
Oh, I don't know about that, but that kit was like that was the only other time I've ever gone. Do you know what? I want to get a goalkeeper kit because that goalkeeper kit. But then the only issue with that goalkeeper kit was like the blueprint and every other bloody team had it. But Christian Walton was shit. Put him in F. I can't believe he went to Ipswich and done all right. Well, he went there when they were in League One, which was like I thought was the right move for him. But he was well, this was when he was at
Wi-Fi code.
Was he out?
Wi-Fi code looks like he's about to throw it into his own net. He's on fire tonight. His Wi-Fi code, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he was at Brighton when he Walton, and then he went to Ipswich on. But he loved Wigan. I think
it was at Wigan beforehand.
Yeah, that was in the. It was him and David Raya going for the Golden Glove, wasn't it? In League One. What are the times, eh? Yeah, and Max. No, it was not Max Power. Who was it? It was Bradley Dack and the other. What was his name? I can't remember his name.
So he was on fire.
Yeah, no, not Will Grigg. It was the Cam.
Powell.
Powell, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Nick Powell.
Nick Powell, that's the one. And then where did he go? He went to Stoke, was it? I can't remember.
I think he went to Crewe. Or Stockport or something like that. Stockport at the end. I don't know, whatever. He might went to Stoke and then Anywho, who's this one? Struggling to see.
Got to Kaminsky, that one.
Oh yeah.
Kaminsky.
Do it, Jonty.
Who is it?
I'm going to be controversial on this because I think a lot of Rovers fans was all right with Kaminsky. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't rubbish, but he wasn't as, they used to call him Tommy K, didn't they? And I was all right with him. For me, he's a C nailed on, but I know plenty of people have put him in an A and a B. But for me, there was too many mistakes in him. Maybe that was his back four in front of him, but no, he didn't do that much for me. He did some good saves, but I mean, that's his job. That's his job.
Oh, here we are. That's his job.
Shut up, Fence. Right. But that's his job. But he didn't. Again, just there was something missing from his game, and probably testament to that is he's not gone on to do better things. Do you know what I mean? He went to Luton. He had a decent game. He had a decent season in the Premier League. But again, I don't know. I know I'll get slated in the comments, but you're gonna
get slated for that one.
I think.
I don't know currently. Oh, look at all the A's. Look at all the A's in there.
I think he was pretty good for us. I think he was prone to a few silly mistakes and errors, but I think in the main he was decent. I'd be putting him in B.
I'd be putting him in B.
C
yeah. I wouldn't see people putting A, but he wasn't. For me,
not an A.
We were on about David Raya's distribution. Kaminsky's distribution was fucking awful. The amount of times he'd kick it and it'd go out for a throw in on either side, and I'd be like, Kaminsky, mate, like, come on, mate. It's about time you got better at your distribution. But But his shot stopping and he commanded his box well, and I always felt confident when he was in goal. So, other than his distribution, I think he was a solid goalkeeper. I'll put him B. I feel like he's in a very similar category to David Raya, but David Raya was a lot younger, of course, and we saw that trajectory of David Raya where Kaminsky kind of that was like he found it. I definitely think he deserved the move to the Prem, but yeah. Dirk's face is saying otherwise.
No, I'm saying I'm just curious as to where this guy goes.
Hang on. Go back to Tommy K a second. Dirk, where are you putting him?
Well, I think he's honestly been our best goalkeeper.
Oh shit!
Since we got relegated from the Premier League.
Christy Morton.
No, I think honestly, I think he was the best. I was the most confident with him between the sticks. I would have put him
ahead of David Raya as well.
Probably, yeah.
Because I think we got Kaminsky like near his peak. Kaminsky was near the finished article when he was with us.
I think he's played his best football at Blackburn Rovers. I think Luton, he had a couple of good games, and I do remember Luton fans were very happy with him. Well, from the Premier League, they were happy with him in the next season. But I think he was our best keeper. And again, looking at what's coming left, I think he was our best.
I don't know how far you're going with this because there's a lot of like retro goalkeepers being mentioned in this. So maybe the final question to this is who is the best ever Rovers player that Rovers goalkeeper that we've ever seen? We'll maybe do that at the end if I'm not sabotaging you.
Oh, that'd be easy. That'd be easy.
It's not the best goalkeeper we've ever had, but it's definitely our best goalkeeper we've had in the last. Since Premier League era, since we got relegated from the Premier League,
right?
That is
so
my opinion.
So Wallstead is A for sure.
Well, Wallstead is not next. It's Mr. Pierce is next, and that's what I was holding my head up because I know John T likes Mr. Pierce, and he will back him to the hilt. Back him to the hilt.
Yeah, no, I won't say back him to a hill. I think he's a solid B for me. I don't think we've got any categoric A's in the sort of time era that we're doing it in. To be fair, when you put it up against the likes of your Tim Flowers, your Friedels, Mims to a certain extent as well, Shay Given as well. I mean, we hardly ever saw him in a Rover shirt, but he went on to do great things, didn't he? Actually, no, I tell a lie. There's one grade A goalkeeper I'd give in the last sort of 10 years. Richie Smallwood.
Oh, well, you stole my thunder. He's coming up last. He's coming last. You stole my thunder.
Wait, who is Perzy? Is Perzy me? Was it? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I feel like
have I pissed on your parade?
No, it's all right. But he is coming. I have him listed as the last.
Pears. Who's choosing where Pears goes?
Should we all just say
B? He's a B. It doesn't matter what I say anyway, because the last guy that I mentioned, you put him in a C anyway, because I was overruled, so it's pointless.
I'm going to say C.
I'm quitting this.
I'd probably say C as well.
I'm going to get a free transfer to the Blackburn.
I've never thing about Pears. He had a run of games where I felt quite confident. He was doing consistently well. He was quite solid. And then he just has a clanger, and then you just lose all confidence in him. Yeah. And it's like every ball into the box you think is a goal.
Again, all I'm going to say is like it's easy to think like in our current situation, he is the most experienced goalkeeper that we have of the two, and he's doing really well. But when he first come in, he was number 2 to Kaminsky, and when he did get his run of games, I remember that the Wigan game. Oh my god, it was horrendous. Like he made 2 or 3 mistakes. It didn't look like he was going to get anywhere near the squad.
What's that noise?
I have no idea. What's that racket?
Feedback.
So anyway, back into the point, and then you've got the flashbacks to the Sheffield Wednesday mistake, which kind of happened to goalkeepers. I know that, but there was time where we're in all the back of our heads, we're looking for our next goalkeeper. When Toss came in, it was like, can he push him out? Can he push? He isn't solid enough to to be a goalkeeper in the sense that in our heads we've got him as a number 2. We gave him the chance last season, and I think he's a very, very good goalkeeper. When we did have Kaminsky, I thought he would be the best number 2 goalkeeper that we could potentially have at that point. But I just think, rose tinted, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a recent bias. It has him higher than what he was for the majority of the time he was at Blackburn Rovers. So I'm going to put him at a C just because, he didn't break into the squad. He made so many mistakes, but then we put his trust in him. We signed a Waldstead to try and take. We signed him to take his place ultimately, and he wasn't good enough, so we kept Pears in, and then we signed Toth now to try and take his place, and it's very much like that. So, C.
It's a difficult one. Pears is difficult. When I look at Eastwood in C, Paul Robinson on decline as a C.
He's not a C.
He's much better than that. He's better than that, but I don't think he's as good as Raya or Kaminsky were in their heyday. So it is like borderline. So I will just,
what, C plus?
We'll put B minus.
I'll be it. Yeah.
He's a C plus, but we'll put him in as a B minus.
He's a B minus. Yeah, he's very much.
I mean, he did have his games where he had an amazing game, kept a clean sheet, and he was really solid, and it was wow. But he just couldn't seem to do that enough. If you know what I mean, not quite enough.
I wouldn't want to say anything about the thing, but I'm just thinking of all the 24 championship clubs. If we were to do a draft, and Pears was up for grabs, where would he go in that? It would be low pecking order. There, no one will be. I must get Pears.
I think you'd get into most championship clubs with Pears. I honestly do, and be their starting number 1. I think the only place he might struggle is Stoke City. Their keeper, that keeper
Johnson.
He's immense. He's superb.
Most number 1s, I think.
That was a big word there. Most.
Yeah, it was. I was going to say even
in the squad.
Yeah, in the squad for sure. Definitely number 2 in most Premier League, in most
I
Championship.
don't know. I will see something different from you guys. I quite like Pears. I do.
I like Pears.
He deserves a chance to be number 1 somewhere. Don't you know?
Yeah,
I
think that's the thing.
Really proven to.
Well, the thing is, I've said throughout all of these podcasts is, you like to John Buckley and to a certain extent Matt Holgate, they need to be playing, week in, week out. You can't just dip them into a game and then dip them out, sort of sheep dip them in and out. They need to be starting consistently, and that's when you see the best of them. And it's probably massive for a keeper is that they get a few games under the belt, they get used to playing in a big stadium under the floodlights with a crowd as well. I'd use that term loosely. But
he had some phenomenal. He had some phenomenal games. He did, but not quite enough.
Alex moved him on already. Honestly, he said hard.
He honestly, in his defence, he is 27 years of age. That's young for a goalkeeper. Yeah. I honestly think, and this is bad. It's a bad take, but if we do go down to League One, I think he's going to be a revelation for us next season, Pears. I think he will be outright number 1. Toth will be gone. It'll be all on Pears. He'll have the experience, the know-how. He will do good things for us in times to come.
I don't think we'll have him. I think if we go down, I think Toth and Pears will go. Yeah.
I know we're linked with a Scottish keeper. There's no joke, John McCracken. It's not Phil, but John, who's at Dundee. We're linked with him.
Did you just say that?
I did because I did put a tweet out there with Phil. I said Phil's brother, John McCracken for real. That's the real player. He does exist. Anyway, everyone's favourite is next, and that is Leo. Where's he going?
Whoever it is.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'll just say F now.
It was bad. Poor
He
Leo.
had potential, but it just didn't quite.
Who is it?
Leo Wallstadt.
Yeah. I don't know.
That was quick.
Do you know, it's that bad. I didn't even know his first name. I knew his surname, but if somebody said to me on a quiz, what's Wallstad's first name? Not a clue.
I don't think he had any memorable saves, did he? I can't think of anything
he just seemed to be out of his depth.
Mm.
From
Yeah, a
beginning
couple of
to-
them Scandinavians are like that, like Henriksen and this guy.
Mm.
And then the current geezer. Where are we putting Toff?
B, just because we've got Perzy there. Otherwise, I would have probably put him high C again. But B.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, he's a B.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
He's a B. I put Pez as a B plus.
Whose choice?
Toff as a B.
Whose choice?
I don't
Dunno.
care.
Doesn't matter. It's a
Sophie's
collective.
choice.
It's a collective decision.
Just have your say on him. Tell us what you think about him, Haben.
I think he's consistently decent. I think
Distribution.
needs some work. Admittedly, catching also needs some work.
Commanding his box, communication.
Yeah,
Decent work.
but he's pretty solid. He's pretty.
Yeah.
I feel pretty.
He's a decent shot stopper.
He's a good shot stopper. He's a good shot
I will
stopper.
give him that. He just needs to add. He needs to be more rounded to his game, and that's my.
Definitely.
It's my criticism, and that's probably why he's not a Premier League player. If he's got potential to be a fantastic keeper. He needs to improve. And there are only marginal improvements across lots of different parts of his game.
I think if he improves in all those areas, then I think he can elevate himself to really be a top performer, because I think he's consistently solid enough. He's a good shot stopper, and I always feel quite secure when he's in goal. So
I need to stop this, please. Toth is better than Pears. Most Rovers fans won't have them close, guys. Okay.
I do want to just say regarding Pears. You know how we're saying about learning tough distribution pairs and communication, but Pears he doesn't fill me with loads of confidence when he's he has his moments. He's more consistent, I'd say, in those areas than Toff, but I don't think he's there's a reason why they're flip-flopping, right? They're both in the conversation, because Pears is still not quite, there'll be times where he'll not come and collect. He'll punch himself, or even communication. Yes, he's better, but like when you had a Kaminsky there and he would bark orders, and it was just that was his box, and Pears can seem a little bit like that as well. I want to say Toth is worse, but I think he is also younger. I can see a better potential of Toth long term. Like I can see him for long term than the initial period now.
Do you want my conspiracy theory, which I've only just thought of now? But I think Toth will probably perform better in training in terms of shot stopping and things like that. So I can understand why Val eventually switched over to Toth when he was back from injury, and also Michael O'Neill has stuck with him. I know Pez has been injured, so that's probably not a fair comment, but would probably stick with him is because in training Toth probably shines. I think in terms of the actual game, I think Pears, for all the reasons on distribution, on catching, on everything else, probably doesn't quite do it for shot stopping. So Toth will probably get the nod, but I think it's probably 50-50. But with keeper there, definitely it's just Toth. I think for me, he needs to be like a Raya. He just needs to improve on some little parts of his game which let him down.
So what you're saying, Jonty, is that we should give him more game time so that he can improve in those aspects, and we've got a really good keeper on our hands.
Yeah, but it goes back to what I said about Raya, is that game on game you could see every single part of the game which was his weakness improve. And with Toth, I'm not seeing that, not at the same speed, because I mean, Raya, how old was he when we sold him? 21, 22, something like that. Week on week you could see him. Well, yeah, what's 1 year between friends? But week on week, you could actually see him improving on it. His distribution, honestly, when we first got him, because I said we've got a hell of a keeper here. If only he could start his distribution a lot better. I mean, because he's not a big, tall goalkeeper. He's only, but what a low centre of gravity he's got, and some of the saves he's made is, it's. Unbelievable saves.
Didn't he make a save from Cristiano Ronaldo for Hungary?
You're talking about Toth there. He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
All right.
So there you go. That's not too shabby.
To wrap up the goalkeeper business, here he is. Big Dick Smallwood. Where's he going?
Hey.
Hey for the memories.
Hey.
I mean, he kept a clean sheet against the West Brom side, down to 10 men, and he's not a goalkeeper.
He's the only player on there that's never ever conceded for Blackburn Rovers, so he's got to be an A, hasn't he?
And this one, whoever this one was down here, Fisher.
All I want to say,
Well, that's detailed. Don't worry about that.
but he never played for a game for Rovers ago, where Richie Smallwood did. But you know what? But a part of me still, I know as much as he's a cult hero, Richie Smallwood, King of Ewood and all that, and we're gonna live him forever for that moment. I still wish Elliot Bennett, Mister all over the pitch. He would have played in every position if he went in goal that day, because he was up for it. Of course, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to go." But imagine Elliot Bennett. He played left back, right back, centre back, midfield, left wing, right wing, up front, just not goalkeeper.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah. But hey, Richie, top of the stuff.
Here's a question for you: Where was it where Richie went into nets?
West Brom. It was West Brom. Jay Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Took out Raya.
With the headpiece.
Nose
Yeah.
like that now. But yeah, so we took him out, and then we had to come off. But we'd already made all our 3 subs, so Richie went in.
Yeah, it was a shit quiz question.
Legendary.
Yeah, what a moment. I knew it. I'm watching live.
Well, look at Rovers. They got either have a really good goalkeeper or really shit ones. So B's or F's for the most part.
But I wouldn't say we've had anyone outstanding other than Richie Smallwood, But
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if.
Where would you put? Out of curiosity, where would you put like a Brad Friedel?
A all day long.
A Flowers, a Terry Geno, a. Yeah, they were all.
Was there any other goalkeepers in that which you'd put, in the mix of it? Would there be any C's, D's, B's?
I'm trying to think who else we've had.
Yeah, we had Friedel for a long time. We had
like
A,
and then this, or was it, I'm just asking. You guys, of course, have seen more games than I have back then. I'm wondering how consistent with goalkeepers were.
We did have. I mean, we had Friedel and Flowers for a long, and Mims, Bobby Mims B, but I mean, growing
we had
up,
Fettis, we had Alan Fettis, Kenny,
Alan Kelly. Yeah.
What were they?
Kelly was decent.
I don't know.
Are they B's,
C's?
C's? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Because it's easy to go for like Flowers, they were the higher the highs, right? But then you've just got the other ones. Where would you have put them?
Friedel scored a goal as well.
He did.
I'd be putting Friedel in A, but I'd be putting Flowers in A as well.
Yeah. But saying that, I don't think Friedel scored as many goals as Richie Smallwood. That's why he's an A.
That's true. That's true.
I think that Fleetwood goal. I can't. Did he score anyone there?
I don't know. I remember he scored a Thunder one in the cup.
Yeah, Fleetwood. Was it in the cup? Was it? No, I remember Fleetwood away.
I think he scored against. No, was it Bradford when we played them a couple of years back? I know he played for Bradford, but
yeah,
he scored against them. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, it's we've had a good history of goalkeepers, but Friedel definitely. I don't know. He gets definitely well received within the Rovers fan base, but he should get more love from the other Premier League people. I don't think they know just how good he was, because he was absolutely insane. Shay Given, we had Shay Given, but I don't think he played for Rovers.
No, he didn't do very much. Went to was it Villa or Newcastle? Which one of the two? He played for both.
Newcastle, yeah. Anyway, we're going to change gears here a little bit, as is this guy, because he is switching his Northern Ireland hat on. And of course, he could be a one and done against Italy, but he could be he could do something unthinkable.
A two and done.
And come back. But the question I want to throw at you guys: have you seen enough from Michael O'Neill to suggest that you would want him back as Blackburn Rovers manager next season? We'll start with you, Dan, because
as no one else is here. I'll say I've not seen enough.
I'm back.
You're back. Well, you'll get your crack in the whip in a minute, Alex. Just so you're.
I'm gonna say I've not seen enough. I do feel again with Ishmael, he was very unlucky with injuries and the and the recruitment policy and all that behind him. I think behind the scenes, because ultimately I was very, well, not very happy, but I was very pleased with what I was watching regarding performances. Results, on the other hand, were what were the disappointing factor. I'd say over the course of this season, like I feel like we sleptwalked into this. Well, maybe not sleptwalk, but the results have just been poor. But I think performance-wise, I remember we were looking at like our, I know the bad word of XG and all that kind of stuff was putting us into the top six and everything. So, but it definitely needed to happen because we need performances are nothing without results, and we won't get any results. So he's come in. We had an initial impact, but how much was that? O'Neill's. I mean, I'm sure it was to do with people wanting to impress the new manager, but how much was that of his his genius? I don't know. QPR almost certain not at all. Where Preston again, if you look, we do look at the back with rose-tinted glasses because of how euphoric we felt after the game, but the game on the whole wasn't fantastic. They had their chances pretty end to end. We had our chances and we've just snatched it at the end. If we don't score that goal at the end, it's a 0-0. Both teams went at it, no one scored kind of game. So we've got to look at all that. And then we went on a bit of a bad run. And Oxford was really poor. And then we've had Middlesbrough and Millwall now with good results. Playing well in both of those games. So, I think it's a safe pair of hands to the end of the season, but I would be looking potentially further into next season, maybe looking for someone else. Like I would be now actively looking to see who we could bring in. Maybe a Slaven Bilic if he's interested in, because of course he didn't want to jump in it potentially with a sinking ship or in the middle of now he's got a summer potentially to build. I don't know, but I wouldn't be against Martin O'Neill signing. But it's just like what are our aspirations for next season? Are we looking just to survive again? Are we looking to push and build? That's the issue at the minute, and it's if a manager wants to come in and manage under the current circumstances and with the ambitions the club have got at the minute.
So, Haben, if we were, I'm going to paint a poison chalice, or at least the bad scenario, if we were to go down. If we were to go down League One, which we're going to do a deep dive into that in a minute, the choice might not be ours, but do you see Michael O'Neill wanting to stick around in a League One with Blackburn Rovers, or do you think he will jump ship if that's the situation that we find ourselves in?
I like to think he'd stick around, but I'm not confident about it. I'm not. I mean, he's an international manager. It's like, and is he gonna finish with Northern Ireland? And that's it's all sort of everything's undecided. It's like, is he even going to be offered to stay on beyond this season? We don't know. I like to think that he'd take some responsibility if we went down and stay with us. But would he walk away from Northern Ireland? I think he'd have to, really. I think he'd have to give us, because we need everything from one manager to get us back into the Championship. So it's a big ask on all fronts. It's like, what's in Venky's minds? Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, it's I would want him to stay. I'd be happy. If we stay up, I'd like him to stay. If we go down, I'd like him to stay. Unless we can find a better option, but I see him as a good manager, and I don't see a reason for us to change if he's willing to stay. There we go.
Well, now if I flip it all around and we stick around, Jonty, do you think it will be rinse and repeat? And of course, let's say Michael O'Neill sticks around and we win the Championship. He decides to stick around. Will it be rinse and repeat with the same sort of transfer structure, or will we have, because I see him as an experienced EFL coach, as somebody that will have a bit of more say, a bit more authority in the transfer signings, and not just, as somebody said in the comments, a disciplinarian and just going along with the hierarchy. Because for me, I feel that maybe he would be more inclined to bring in EFL regulars, but what's your take on the potential of him sticking around in a Championship reboot next season with the figureheads that are above us or above him?
So here's my thoughts. I think if Blackburn Rovers stay up, we've got a good chance and opportunity to retain Michael O'Neill, whether we want that, whether we don't want that. But I think if he keeps us up, then, he's got massive kudos. I think if we go down nailed on, he will walk. He will, you can't be, albeit Northern Ireland, that's no disrespect to Northern Ireland, but you can't be an international manager and managing the League One. So, there's a part of me that wonders, or a bit of a head scratcher, that Phil Jones was coming to the club. It is, regardless of what happens this season, was he always going to be the immediate replacement for him? We can't second guess, what in terms of recruitment. You'd like to think that he would be a bit more of a figurehead and have more of a say on recruitment and what have you, but it's Blackburn Rovers. I don't think that will be. I think in a normal functioning Blackburn Rovers, yes, your theory will be right. He would have more of a say on who we want to bring in and things like that. But unfortunately, we've got other people pulling the strings at Blackburn Rovers. So I guess the long answer to your short question is, if we stay up, I can see more of a chance of him staying on at Rovers. And, Stoke City waxed lyrical about him. They thought he was a great manager. They thought he did a solid job in stabilising their ship. And hopefully he can do the same with us if we stay up. But, we've had a couple of good win and a draw. That was on the back of a really, really poor Portsmouth and Oxford. So let's not forget about that. And also, QPR, you could argue that was Damien Johnson's. Yeah. And yes, the Preston result, like Denver said, great result, but could have quite easily been a 1-0 defeat. But then, let's not forget Derby, good first half. Or they made us look good in the first half, and then second half they absolutely steamrolled all over us, and
But Derby got a fair squad, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't really subscribe to that. I would if it was like if they'd gone 3-0 up and they beat us 3-1, fair enough. But I think we showed enough in the first half to say that we're relatively level, but I don't know. Maybe I'm deluded. I think we've got a half decent squad. I really do.
I'm not saying we haven't got a good squad. I just think like a team like Derby has so many options from the bench. They've got game-changing players that can come off the bench.
So have we when we're not got a lot of injuries. When we went to Derby, we still had quite a large injury list. But they've got a deeper squad. They have got a stronger squad. There's no two ways about that. I'm not for 1 minute sat here saying that that's not the case. But equally, I think on a game like that, especially when we went 1-0 up, 3-1's quite a heavy defeat, and it was a manner in which we lost 3-1 in the second half. We got battered, let's be honest with you. We were lucky to walk away from that 3-1. We were licking our wounds on the way out, and that one hurt it.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that was a good showing. And the manager has to take responsibility for that, of course.
Yeah, and I guess Michael O'Neill, don't get me wrong, I on the whole I'm all right with him. I did question him at the end of Portsmouth. I did question him at the end of Oxford. Yeah, sure. And I was starting to wonder what kind of impact he's having. And for me, it was kind of same old. We're playing the same failed formation that has got us into this stupid situation in the first place. His substitutions were questionable. To a certain extent, some of his starting 11, like, for example, if we'd lost against Middlesbrough, I would have been the first on here saying, why did we not start with Yuki up front and Jorgensen on the bench, a bit like we did against Millwall? Because Yuki was the type of player, when we're playing a slightly more defensive, for Yuki just to be that Yorkshire Terrier yapping at the, on the odd occasion that we get the ball up front. Jorgensen isn't that kind of player. Don't get me wrong. again, he's slowly growing on me, and I might have to prove with egg on my face, because I think the last podcast I was a little bit like wondering where he fits into all of this. I was a bit like scratching my head on him, but you know, Millwall away, if you look at him for his second goal, to be fair to him, it looked like we'd lost a ball, and he was quite deep into the Millwall half. You know, he was certainly making his way back to start the defence, because a few defenders have pushed up, which is fine. But then when he realised that actually, you know what, the ball's advancing, you watch the sprint that he does, and he doesn't stop, and he scores a goal. And that for me was phenomenal play by Jorgensen. But on Saturday, again, Jorgensen reminds me a little bit of a Jordan Rhodes, where, you know, given the ball in the 18-yard box, he can clearly hit a shot with power. He can clearly hit a shot with accuracy, but he does very, very little else. He's not as big a battler as what you need when you're in that scrappy kind of position. And Jordan Rhodes was kind of similar. He was a great player, don't get me wrong. I'm not for 1 minute suggesting he's not, but you just need somebody with a little bit more, you know, fight in there, and just prepared to run around and chase very, very loose balls down and things like that. And Yuki does that, you know, and this is why I want Yuki to do well. And I think it's probably why every Blackburn Rovers fan wants Yuki to score more goals, because at the end of the day, that's what he's judged on. If Yuki was to leave the club tomorrow, his statistics will say he hasn't been a great player for us. But I won't say a great player. He hasn't been a great player for us, but he's worked his bollocks off for us. He's the epitome of art and labour. And at the minute, I'm not seeing that in Jorgensen.
No one can question. I mean, Yuki's effort is second to none, and how he worked tirelessly. And I would love him to score every game, because he's so lovable.
He deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves it. There's no question. And I agree with you that we need to see more of that kind of thing from Jorgensen, or at least get the delivery to him so he can score.
Yeah.
That's a different player.
You know, Morishita, another one that works his bollocks off a lot of the games, you know. So back to the original point, though. So, I mean, if we'd lost yesterday, I would have been... My only criticism of yesterday, if we'd lost 1-0, would have been, I think we should have started with Yuki and not Jorgensen, and you know, at least start it and do it that way around. I can understand why you put Jorgensen in, because he got 2 goals coming off the bench, but you know, Jorgensen for me might be a bit more of an impact player. So, you know, let's keep it on topic. Michael O'Neill, he said after going around every single house and cul-de-sac and block. I'm
going to add to that block as well, but
is it a low block or a high block?
I was going to mention, you know, with Yuki, how we're loving him and saying, you know, we want him to score, but wasn't that Sam Gallagher as well? Like, you know, Sam Gallagher was in there. He worked hard, you know, he ran his socks off, but he just couldn't score. But how we had a different light, right? Maybe because of his personality, and you know, he's, you know, just we love him to bits. But with Sam Gallagher, it's just frustrating. I don't know. An interesting.
Yeah, Sam Gallagher was not quite so lovable.
That's what I mean.
And I like Gallagher, again, for his work rate, but I think my biggest frustration with Gallagher, for such a big, tall lump of a player, he didn't, you know, and where Yuki, you can probably cut him a little bit more slack, because he's quite a small, petite, low centre of gravity player, you know, where Gallagher, you can't be that tall and not score many goals with your head. And, do you know what I mean? And I mean, I'd love to, we'll never, ever, ever see it, but how many high balls came in that he should have probably buried in the back of the net? He's almost, I wouldn't say he's as tall as Haaland, but he's up there with Haaland in terms of height and physicality and what have you. But for whatever reason, he just didn't do it for Rovers. Where Yuki, you know, is a bit more of a Yorkshire Terrier, constantly at the heels, constantly yapping away. He's got quality. He can finish, as we've seen mainly last season, sort of thing. But but I don't mind somebody that works his bollocks off for Blackburn Rovers. It goes back to the old saying, you know, I don't mind losing. I can take losing. It's a manner in which we lose. And if every single player has worked the bollocks off, nobody's been a passenger, because, you know, the Championship's unforgiving. You cannot, for 1 minute, have passengers in your team, and this is, you know, you look at your likes of your Coventry's, Middlesbrough. I thought were a very good team. I you know, going back to Callum Britton, I've never seen a right back, and he was a right back, wasn't he, yesterday? A right back. I've never seen him play so deep into our half. Any right back. I thought Middlesbrough were a very good setup. You can see why they're second in the league. Very organised, very disciplined. Just a bad day at the office in the final third for them guys. On another day, yeah, they would probably batter us 2 or 3-0. They went to, was it Swansea the other week, and or QPR or wherever, and battered them 4-0. You know, they've had some really good away days. So I thought, you know, that to me adds to how well Rovers did yesterday. And Atkinson, wow, what a player! A really, really solid performance. I'll tell you another one that stuck out for me. And we're not all these bigger fans, but the 3 surname guy, Taylor, Hickman, Gardner, Hickman, Taylor, Hickman, but Forshaw as well. Forshaw, absolutely fantastic yesterday.
You know,
Awesome.
Watching back the 2016 game, I did not know it was him who scored against us. I remember being there in that game. That's 10 years ago, by the way. You know, that game where we beat him 2-1. Danny Graham, Hope Akpan scoring, Danny Graham, and then Adam Forshaw scoring against us for Middlesbrough. That blew my mind. Jordan Rose playing against them. When I was watching that clip back, I'm like, oh my God, that feels like yesterday. That was 2016. 10 years ago.
Wow.
God.
Hope Akpan. Was that the only goal he actually got for us?
I remember he had a shot against Burnley that time, that year, and he saved it. I think who was in goal?
Did it end up in Darwin?
Yeah, no, it was actually a very good shot.
Oh, on target.
We had that whole game. I think that was Andre Gray.
Where's he now? I'm gonna have to Google.
Well, while he's Googling, quick fire question. I just dropped a poll on the chat there. But will Michael O'Neill be Blackburn Rovers manager on September the 1st, 2026? Denver, yes or no?
No.
Alex Heyman.
Oh, yes.
Yes. John T.
I wasn't listening. I was Googling.
Will Michael O'Neill be?
Which means we're staying up.
Maybe. Michael O'Neill be Blackburn Rovers coach on September the 1st, 2026.
September the 1st, 2026. What league are we in?
I don't know. You gotta. This is all leading up to something.
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Well, that contradicts what I said. If we're in League One, no. If we're in Championship, yes.
There we go. Done. Sorry.
Okay. Do we have any? Not many people. 100% say no in the chat. But anyway, early doors. Now we're going to lead on to this. Now, of course, this is the state of play in the table, as you see. Take a look at it. Take a long, hard look at it. We are because it's very hard to see. I do apologise.
That draw us.
Can I zoom in? I don't think I can zoom in.
Well, what's he zoom in? Hope Akpan. Right, yep. So he left Blackburn Rovers. He went to Burton Albion. Yep. He then went to Bradford City. He then went to SJK, and he's now at Widnes.
Oh, Widnes, that road.
What a load of shite.
Anywho, so we are in 20th, 43 points. I got Leicester.
Wait, Leicester? No. That's the before the point deduction. That'll be incorrect.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, that's a bad thing. But regardless, just take a look at it. You can see who's in the relegation. I would say Charlton.
We're 19th.
Yeah, Charlton below are in this relegation discussion. That's what the title of the video is. It is the relegation run-in. That's right. These are the teams I would say are in it. We've got 6 teams battling to avoid the 2 spots. I've got ats all over the place. Here are the games for you. We're going to go Oxford. We're going to go Leicester. We've got Pompey there, of course. What I did notice while I was doing this is I think we are the only one with 4. Besides Pompey, who have a game in hand, with 4 away matches. Everyone else has 4 home matches. A lot of these clubs have Sheffield Wednesday still to play. So you would imagine that's 3 points a given to the teams that have to play Sheffield Wednesday.
I can't imagine them losing all.
We got the hardest run in, haven't we?
It looks pretty tough. So take a long, hard look at the images here. And I want to ask you your honest opinion, because it is quite difficult to assume that Rovers are going to get out of this. Because if you look at them, again, 4 home matches for Leicester. Their away matches, Sheffield Wednesday, Rovers on the last game of the season.
I think Pompey's the hardest. I think Pompey's got the hardest running. Yeah. You got Norwich not doing too bad. Oxford fighting for the lives. You got Middlesbrough in the top 2. Ipswich not doing too bad. Leicester also fighting. Coventry over first. Stoke. That's a bloody hard running. I think they've got the hardest of all of them.
They have yet to change their manager. This might be the window that they do that, and they might look to get a new manager bounce.
With
I
the
don't
rough
know.
they're in. Yeah,
Who else? What about Oxford? They've got Wrexham. They've got Derby pushing for promotion. Pompey trying to avoid relegation. Hull also trying to push. Millwall. Again, I don't want to see the windows close for some of these clubs. For example, Millwall to be, not got a chance for automatics, because right now they still have a chance for automatics. You would think Millwall on the outside, because they're doing well. So Oxford might also be in trouble, but Rovers, Birmingham. I think they're playing pretty bad right now. Birmingham. It's a tricky place to go. West Brom at home. I think we got a chance here with these 3 games. I think there's a chance we get some points. I think this is where it's either won or lost for Blackburn Rovers. These 3 Easter weekend, massive for Blackburn Rovers. Charlton, I think they could get sucked into it, but Bristol City are just stinking right now. They're honking, and I think they'll win that game, and that will be it. If they lose that game, they might get sucked into it. Watford competing, they might get sucked into it. But they got Sheffield Wednesday, so they should win that game as well. So
again, with the Sheffield Wednesday shout, it's easy for them because they're down and out already. That people are like, oh, they're gonna just roll it. They have been playing okay the last year. I'm not saying them that they're winning games or whatever, but they've been hard to beat. And we know that firsthand, Dirk. But all I'm going to say is I can't see them losing all of these games. You know what I mean? I can't see them losing to Oxford, Leicester.
They know they're gone, so they might as well just play for pride. Just if they got no reason to not. They've
got no reason to play.
They got no pressure. They got no pressure on anything, so they might as well just. That they can,
aren't they? But it's definitely I can see them picking up a point potentially against 1 or 2 of these sides. So we got to wait and see.
I think we can eliminate Charlton because you need to get to 50 points. In my opinion, and they've got Sheffield Wednesday at Sheffield Wednesday. They've also got another winnable game.
Bristol City.
Maybe Bristol City as well. So, Hull, Ipswich, Preston and Watford ain't going to be easy for them, but they've got Bristol City and Sheffield Wednesday. Even if they've got 4 points from that, they're on 48 now, are they? 43. 48. That'll put them on 52. So I think we can eliminate Charlton from that. So Rovers were currently on 43. So have we got 7 points in amongst all of that? Forget Leicester because that's Birmingham's definitely a point. West Brom, we could be 3, or Stoke, we could be 3 points there. Coventry could already be promoted by then, automatic. So are they just going for the title? Sheffield United been a little bit twitchy recently. Southampton not good. I think
Southampton are very good right now. Southampton are the team
exactly. So I think the more points we can pick up in the next 3, I think the next 3 games could determine Rovers' landing place. I think for me, it's probably, and this will be a little bit boring, but Sheffield Wednesday gone. I think at this moment in time, it could be Oxford and Pompey that go. But I've always said that I think just for Championship comedy, I think it will be either Oxford or Pompey, and it'll be one of the big clubs. And when I say big clubs, and that'll be Leicester, either Leicester or West Brom or Blackburn, and only big in terms of they've been in the Premier League in the last sort of 13, 14, 15 years. So I can see one of the either Leicester, Blackburn or West Brom going, but it's with either Oxford. So if I'm a betting man and I go off that theory, I think it'll be Sheffield Wednesday. I think it could be Pompey, just on current form. And I think it could also be Leicester.
Do you know what I'd love to see right now, Dirk, is our predictions from a few weeks ago and see how it's shaping up now to what it was before.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Devlin.
I don't have it ready, no.
Okay.
But let's.
Blackburn have that ready. Don't worry.
I should have had it.
Yeah.
But West Brom, they're on a good bit of form right now. But I think
Yeah.
they got a sticky patch here. I think Wrexham will give them a game. Hopefully, Rovers can give a game. Millwall, I think this could derail them the next 3 games. I'm hoping it can.
We hope so.
And then Ipswich might prove to be a spanner. So I still think they've got. I think they'll beat Preston. I think they will beat Wednesday, and they might get 7 points in those.
I think Sheffield Wednesday could always pull off a surprise because they just they got no reason not to just go for it every now and again. You know.
I know. Recently, I've been keeping an eye on them, and they've taken the lead in the last couple of games, but ultimately they've lost.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping that's going to change in the games that matter to us.
Yeah. There's only 4 of them. 4 of the 6 have got to play Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think I can't see them losing all 4. I can see them picking up a point at least out of one of them or 2 of them.
Yeah, maybe the Oxford game at home. Maybe I'd like to see it be Leicester.
I need predictions. Come on, boys. I've shown you what I've got. So I've said that either Oxford or Pompey will go down from the smaller clubs, and I think it'll be Leicester that go down. But let's Denver.
Yeah.
I think you're going to say one or 2 of any of those 6 will go down. That's what I think you're going to say. That's my guess.
I think I'm definitely sure, right? I'm definitely sure that Sheffield Wednesday are going to go down.
And I think
I'm sure.
Can I also say? I think you're also sure that Coventry and Middlesbrough and Ipswich won't go down. Is that right?
You know what? You might have me there. I might also put Millwall in that as well. I don't think Millwall.
Does this mean Denver's not sitting on the bench?
No, he's still sitting on the bench. He's well perched on there. He's camping.
I'll get Jacob's shirt out here now, and I'm on the fence on the back of my shirt here now for you all. I can't do that. I can't do that for Jake. Sorry, guys. No, but I'm gonna have. Do I put Sheffield Wednesday at the bottom? I think I will. And then I think I do right now. If you asked me literally last week, I would have had West Brom down because it was so poor. But these 2 wins, and then I've got a friend who's a West Brom fan, so it's really thrown me off. But I'll definitely say right now I'm going to go with Leicester and Pompey.
Wow.
Same as me then, I think. So. Alex, over to you, Bo.
Yeah, Pompey's form's been shocking recently, so that makes me want to put them down there. So yeah, I think I'd have to go Oxford, Portsmouth, and I don't know. It's between Leicester and West Brom for me.
It's not us.
Yeah.
In between Leicester and West Brom, that's Burton, isn't it? Geographically.
Yeah. I just think I don't know. I'm hoping the wheels come off for West Brom. Because we got to play both of them. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm hoping they come back off for West Brom. So I'm going to put West Brom. I'm going to go Oxford, Portsmouth, and West Brom.
Don't you start thinking that you've got away with this, mate. So we need this live on camera. Who's going down, bud?
Well, I think Portsmouth are going to go down. I think I don't know what they're going to do if they're going to stick with Mousinho. I think they would, if they want to bounce back, they would want Mourinho there. So I think they'll keep him. So I think they'll go down. And they just looking at that Oxford Pompey game, that could be huge. Because they play each other, I think, on Good Friday. And I'm going to be boring. I'm going to go Oxford Pompey. I think Leicester have got, they're going to win, I think, the next 2 games. I'll give them 6 points. They'll probably even go unbeaten the next 3 games. I think Leicester will be all right. West Brom, I think they might take a bounce. They'll take a dent against Wrexham. They might get something against Rovers. I am worried about us. I am worried about Blackburn Rovers still.
We're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
But,
and
like you said, the three games are massive.
The next 3 games will probably determine if we're genuine hands-on contenders or we're out of it. But I mean, guys, put it in the comments, because you're very good at criticising us, but now I want people to start putting the bollocks on the line, and Naive Steve and Wi-Fi Code, the Danish Queen as well, JDT. Start putting it in the comments, guys, as to who you think is going to go down. And don't watch this back in 6 weeks' time and then put your predictions in, because we time and date stamp it. So But no, I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting. It's a very, very, very difficult one to call. I think the next 3 games for Rovers, we're not out of the woods. I think what I was going to say about the Middlesbrough game is, it was almost like Michael O'Neill doing a warm-up for Northern Ireland versus Italy. It's just, how can he play and defend, and what is he telling them psychologically to get them in the right frame of mind to, we're not going to have much of the ball. We need to be brilliant without the ball, because that was Blackburn Rovers on Saturday. We were brilliant without the ball. And then, the last sort of 10, 15 minutes, we could have gone on to nick it. So, it was almost like a bit of a dress rehearsal for what Michael O'Neill was going to do for Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and of course, I think also for Rovers coming into this break on the back of some 2 positive results will be massive. Pompey have got to chew on that big 6-1 against QPR. They got to chew on that. Oxford, what are they? They lost against Southampton. So fortunately, Rovers can go into this with a little bit of momentum, and hopefully Birmingham City off on the back of a defeat as well, our next opponents. So I think we're
looking at our fixtures, though. As we were saying, the next 3 seem to be crucial. They'd be really crucial, because if we don't get enough from those, then our backs are really proper against the wall with some really tough games.
If we get 2 wins and a draw out of the last 3, then we'll probably be safe, because that'll put us on 50 points, But
I think it's going to be a high tide. I think it's going to be a high tide. I feel like it's going to be a high tide due to just the amount of teams going to be picking up points. Because we got relegated on 51. People always forget that. We got relegated on 50 points, and but
that was the highest.
That was the highest, and Birmingham went down.
We were so unlucky with that. So unlucky.
We went down on 49. So it's been a high tide for the past few years. So I
51 on goal difference, wasn't it? Let's remember that we got 51 points and we went down on goal difference against Forest.
Exactly.
But I feel like this year is going to be another high tide, especially with Sheffield Wednesday being so far gone. It's going to be. I just feel like it's going to be. We need more than 50 points to stay up. I feel like it's going to be. If we get 53 points, I know then we're good. We're good.
So here's a question which has been spinning round in my head for quite a bit. So Michael O'Neill is out the training camp now, right?
Yeah.
So that leaves Phil Jones. You've got this kind of Phil Jones to a certain extent, Damien Johnson, but now you've got a quandary. So you've been under Phil Jones and DJ for the past 10 days. Michael O'Neill comes back. You'd like to think there's some form of communication lines between, the Phil Jones and DJ into Michael O'Neill, but that for me is a little bit of a concern. So our next game, there could be a little bit of Phil Jones and DJ have been doing it, but ultimately it's Michael O'Neill's. Michael. Okay.
Yeah.
I've started correcting myself now that I've got his name right. I've now started correcting myself, but now there's that quandary that you put yourself into of, does Michael O'Neill now just look at the next 2 or 3 days in training when he's back from Northern Ireland, or does he go off what Phil Jones and DJ have been instructing to him? And that is a tough one to manage, a real tough one, because then we've got, like I say, we've got Birmingham away, West Brom at home, and then Stoke City away. So that's a tough set of games when you've not been close to the squad in the international break. And I mean, what are the players doing now? Some of them might be in Spain for 4 or 5 days, just getting a little bit of sunshine away from it. So yeah, there's a couple, and no other club have an international manager that have got the focus elsewhere now. They'll be working with them or taking them on a bit of a summer camp. So we're in a bit of a, you could argue, disadvantage. It might turn out to be our advantage, but it's something that crossed my mind in the last week or so, and I thought, is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? And I couldn't quite work it out in my head if it is a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe time will tell. If we lose the next 3, then yeah, it was shit.
Yeah. Well, you probably will lose the next 3, and then who knows? We might win the next 4 against Coventry, Southampton, and
that would be totally Rovers. That would be
totally Rovers. I don't want it to be. I want it to be.
We want the stress. We want the less stressful.
Well, I think testament to all of that. I mean, look at us 3. We're 22, 23, and 24.
Denver, you'll get there. You'll get there. You'll get there soon. No. I can see the signs.
It's unfair.
It's the signs. Wow. What's this about?
It's unfair to bring Denver into this because he's only 12.
Yeah.
It feels like that, guys, to be fair.
But hey, yes, it's chance to unwind. Jonty, about your quiz. Maybe we'll do a quiz next week or a little bit after next week. Test the Rovers' brains out. In the next live session.
It's a good one.
It's a good
one.
It better not be like the last one, because that one
it won't be.
And rigged.
Oh, that was good.
That was a nightmare. It was a disaster.
I would say it's the best quiz I've ever written in my life.
Wow. Guy, if the guys in the comments now, you've heard it here first. The best quiz ever.
Best quiz ever.
It's. I mean, you don't need to be a Rovers fan for such a long period of time. I think a lot of them I've taken on board your feedback, Denver, with you being 12 years old, and looking at the history and the heritage and things like that. So I've gone with you can do a bit of a process of elimination. It's a good quiz. Yeah, it really is.
How long in the pipeline's this been brewing? I feel like it's been since
probably a good 6 months. Good 6 months. I started it 6 months ago. Yeah.
It deserves a title like Jonty's epic quiz.
Yeah.
So epic.
Yeah.
Epic E-Wood quiz.
I think out of 20, Denver, if there's 20 questions, I think you'd definitely get 10.
Yeah.
You'd be
right in the middle. Something to look forward
it's all about the deliveries. The delivery, like the delivery for Jorgensen. Jonty's epic quiz.
That's right.
Well,
that's right.
I think I'd only go halfway with that and say,
yes,
Jonty's epic quiz.
Anyway, what's the next subject matter?
That's it. We're done. We've done 2 hours. 2 hours already.
I've not even got through my list of any other business yet.
What do you want to talk about?
I'm joking.
It's okay.
He wants to talk about how Mick Targay's flying in Shankentuck.
Is he? How's he doing?
I don't know. I'm not really paying attention to how he's been doing over there, but he seems happy.
Well, here's a quick question. Who has benefited the most from Michael O'Neill's tenure in regards to a Blackburn Rovers player? Who's stepped up? Who, of course, is now, who's benefited
Forshaw, Taylor Gardner Hickman. Yeah, I think Forshaw's done all right. He's been taken off a couple of times. I'll tell you one player that disappointed me the most yesterday, and I've I've been waxing lyrical about this guy, so again, I might have to eat my words. But Baraji, I thought he was absolutely really poor yesterday.
He's been honking of late.
He was, and Ryan Alibuso, again, I've waxed lyrical, but that's not under Michael O'Neill. That's just since he's come back from the African Cup of Nations. He just looks like he's lost a load of confidence, and we saw that with a bit like Ryan Nyambe and Amari Bell. I thought two great players, but just lost a lot of confidence. And unfortunately for me, Ryan Alibuso has lost a lot of confidence. He's still good. He still can put a cross in and what have you. Just doesn't do it frequently. He doesn't get up that wing. It's almost like he says, I daren't go too far up because I know I'm going to be legging it back in about 5 seconds' time. So He's just, for me, Baraji yesterday, good God, he was really, really poor. His first touch was appalling. It was on par with my first touch. It was horrendous. And it's just general distribution, general game, just reading the game was really poor. But let's just spend a minute just to appreciate Morishita. That ball that came down with snow on it.
Oh, yeah.
That I don't think I've ever seen that at Ewood Park before in my life. Or I have. But it ended up in like the Riverside stand. It hit somebody's foot and went flying. Denver, it wasn't you. It definitely wasn't you.
I dreamed it was me. No, but I remember against Wigan, Marvin Emnes bringing down.
Oh, that goal, yeah, that was.
And then he come in and scored a screamer. That was when he brought that ball down. It was the whole crowd went, because it was such a good touch. So
who distributed that goal though to Emnes? What goalkeeper?
Oh, don't you dare say it was surely Raya. Surely
it was Steele. I think it was Jason Steele.
Steele. Oh, full circle. I feel like it was Steele as well.
Can we get a rewind? Put him into
the signs were there.
Yeah, see, we knew he was going to be an England goalkeeper at some point. I need to find this out right now before we end this stream.
I'm pretty sure it was Steele. I think
But Morishita, what a touch that was. That was just. I mean, to watch it live as well, because you saw it coming down. It took about 3.5 minutes to come down from the sky. Yeah, it took a Boeing 747 out with it as well. I think that landed somewhere near Stockport or something like that. But when the ball actually landed at his foot, and I just thought, oh God. It was not only to bring it down under control, but to then actually, play a pass within a split second was unbelievable. But no, Baraji let me down yesterday. I know he was playing a little bit out of position because you have Forshaw and Taylor Hickman, Gardner Hickman, Taylor Hickman. Who cares? In the middle, and he was playing a little bit more on the left, which didn't suit him. A big shout out to Todd Campbell again. I've not been his big fan. There we go.
It was Steele. Oh, just unreal touch.
that was special.
It was, and then the goal afterwards as well.
That was under Coyle, right?
Yeah, no. This is Mowbray, I think, at this point.
I don't know. I think it was Coyle.
Get Morris up tomorrow. We'll have a vote now. We'll get Morris up now. So
I think that. Morris is great.
Morris.
I'm watching that live. Must have been quite something as well. But yeah, Jason Steele, there you go, got an assist.
Yeah.
What are we
Anywho, I think Haven's ready for bed. I'm ready for bed. I've got to hit the road here. I'm going to drive.
Hang on. Oh. That's a really, really valid point from Naive Steve. I hope Morishita doesn't do the helicopter at Leicester. Someone needs to tell him. That's a really valid point.
Someone, better stop him.
Yeah, but we're not at Leicester though, are we? So it's fine.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see it.
Why is that been brought up? Anyway, there you go.
Now Steve's on the money. Anyway, you guys have been amazing. Appreciate it. Appreciate Mr. Haben stepping in. Lastminute.com. And of course, we'll have to get that quiz sorted out in the next week or so. So I'm excited. You guys have been amazing. Everyone out in the chat as well. Appreciate it on a Sunday night.
Before we finish, can we just say What the hell is Jacob doing? Where is he?
I don't know. Maybe you embarrassed him.
I know. I left him, said I'll speak to you in a bit, in a few hours, and then here he is. Not.
Was he on the liquor or was he on the booze or no?
No, he had 2 beers. I say 2 dark fruits. So it's not even. It's fizzy drink.
Oh, he had cider and blackcurrant or whatever.
Yeah. So he just, I drove back home and got on straight on. So
respect for coming. And again, hey, Mr. Haben, appreciate it. It's been a while. Thumbs up. He's all ready for bed. I gotta go. You guys are amazing. Catch you all later. Yo.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Cheers.
We're out of here.